So then, Apple fans, tech enthusiasts, and anyone who loves powerful, compact computers, buckle up, because the next generation of the Mac Mini is shaping up to be one of Apple's most exciting desktop refreshes in years. With the M5 chip officially powering the new MacBook Pro, iPad Pro, and even the next Vision Pro 2, everyone asking the same big question: when will the Mac Mini get its own M5 upgrade? Well, today we're diving deep into everything you need to know, from the latest leaks, performance rumors, and design expectations, all the way to release date, pricing, and Apple's 2026 desktop roadmap. If you're thinking about upgrading your setup, or you've been holding off for that perfect mini powerhouse, this is the video for you. A quick look back, the evolution of the Mac Mini. Before we jump into the M5-powered future, let's rewind a little. Back at the end of 2024, Apple completely reinvented the Mac Mini. After more than a decade, with essentially the same aluminum square design, the company finally introduced a sleeker, smaller chassis that almost felt like a miniaturized version of the Mac Studio. This redesign was subtle yet meaningful. The new form factor looked more modern, thermal efficiency was improved, and the internal layout was re-engineered to handle Apple Silicon's incredible performance per watt ratio. You got multiple Thunderbolt 4 or even Thunderbolt 5 ports depending on whether you picked the M4 or M4 Pro version, an Ethernet port, 2 USB 3.2 ports up front for convenience, and yes, the trusty headphone jack that Pro users still appreciate. And that's what's always made the Mac Mini special: the ability to bring your own peripherals. You could connect your favorite keyboard, mouse, and display, and instantly have the full macOS experience without paying the premium price of a MacBook or iMac. Even better, Apple kept the starting price at $599, with 16 GB of unified memory and 256 GB of storage in the base M4 model. For casual users, students, developers, or even small studio setups, that was a tremendous value. But now, with the M5 generation entering the lineup, the big question is, how much more powerful will the 2026 Mac Mini become, and will Apple shake things up again? High voltage, the M5 chip, what we know so far. The Apple M5 chip is already proving to be one of the company's most impressive SoCs yet. It's built on TSMC's 3nm, second-generation process, delivering even better efficiency and performance compared to the M4. Benchmarks have shown massive GPU improvements, and most notably, a huge leap in AI and machine learning capabilities. Apple designed this chip with local AI tasks in mind, meaning everything from on-device generative AI to real-time translation, neural rendering, and video upscaling is faster and more secure than ever before. Now, just like the M4, the M5 carries 10 CPU cores with 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores, plus a 10-core GPU configuration. But don't be fooled by the same core counts. Apple has managed to extract up to 45% more GPU performance than the M4 while maintaining the same power draw. That's the magic of Apple Silicon refinement and efficiency, generation after generation. If we imagine this chip inside a Mac Mini, we're looking at a compact desktop that could outperform many mid-range PCs, all while staying whisper quiet and sipping power. And if Apple maintains that $599 entry point, a Mac Mini M5 with those specs could easily become the best value computer in Apple's entire lineup. Fire M5 Pro, the real power upgrade. Of course, Apple won't stop at the base model. Every generation of the Mac Mini since the M2 has had a Pro version for those who need extra horsepower: video editors, developers, musicians, and creators who want serious multi-core and GPU performance without jumping to the expensive Mac Studio. The current M4 Pro comes in 2 CPU configurations, a 12-core and a 14-core model. Both feature 4 efficiency cores, with the rest being performance cores. The GPUs scale up to 20 cores, and it's already a monster for its size. Now, based on consistent Apple trends, we're expecting the M5 Pro to bump things up again. Here's the likely breakdown: up to 16 CPU cores for efficiency, plus 12 performance, and up to 22 GPU cores with major gains in graphics throughput. And since Apple has already claimed a 40% to 45% performance leap in a regular M5, We could be looking at over 50% more GPU power in the M5 Pro compared to the M4 Pro. That means smoother Final Cut Pro rendering, faster 3D modeling, and an even more capable AI inference engine for pro workloads. Imagine editing 8K ProRes footage, running multiple external displays, or training small machine learning models, all on a compact desktop that fits in your hand. That's the appeal of the Mac Mini Pro, and the M5 Pro will push that boundary further. Design, will it change again? If you're hopping for a new look, you might want to temper expectations. The Mac Mini's design was just refreshed in late 2024, and knowing Apple's design cycles, we probably won't see another major redesign for several years. The last design lasted nearly 14 years, so this newer compact design is still very fresh. Expect it to stick around until at least 2028 or 2029 before Apple considers another physical overhaul. That said, minor internal changes are likely. Apple could tweak thermals, introduce a more efficient power supply, or add slightly improved port speeds. And who knows, if Thunderbolt 6 gets finalized before mid-2026, we could see Apple quietly include it in the higher-end M5 Pro Mac Mini. But visually, it'll still be that clean square aluminum slab we know and love. macOS Tahoe and WWDC 2026 connection. Now, let's talk timing, because leaks around macOS Tahoe have given us our biggest clue about when the M5 Mac Mini might actually arrive. Based on internal code references seen in early macOS 26 betas, the Mac Mini refresh seems to align with versions macOS 26.4 or 26.5, which would correspond to summer 2026. If that timing sounds familiar, it's because Apple tends to use WWDC to announce desktop updates. Historically, the Mac Mini and Mac Studio often launch alongside macOS updates, giving developers and professionals something to get excited about. So, the most realistic timeline right now looks like this: Spring 2026, M5 Pro Max MacBook Pro. Summer 2026, WWDC, Mac Mini M5 and M5 Pro, Mac Studio, and possibly the iMac M5. It's the perfect time for Apple to refresh its entire desktop ecosystem at once, ensuring software like Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, and new AI tools in macOS Tahoe are optimized for the latest hardware. Price expectations. Will it stay affordable? Here's some good news. If Apple follows its current trend, the M5 Mac Mini will keep the same pricing structure as the M4 model. That means M5 Pro, 24GB 512GB, around $1,399. Apple didn't raise prices for the M5 MacBook Pro or iPad Pro, even with major performance gains, so it's very likely they'll do the same here. At that price point, the M5 Mac Mini would easily dominate its category, outperforming PCs that cost twice as much while offering Apple's legendary build quality and tight ecosystem integration. AI and machine learning, the silent revolution. Another big talking point with the M5 chip is its next-generation neural engine. Apple is reportedly focusing heavily on on-device AI performance, preparing macOS for a wave of AI-assisted tools, from automatic code suggestions in Xcode to photo retouching in Photos and even natural voice responses through Apple Intelligence. In the Mac Mini, that means you'll get a desktop capable of running AI models locally without relying on cloud services. For privacy-conscious users and developers, this is a massive advantage. Expect Apple to push this angle hard during the reveal. The Mac Mini M5 won't just be fast, it'll be intelligent.